Welcome to EDU 6350, Curriculum and Instruction, Theory and Design. This is a master's level course, and I am your instructor, Dr. Lori Rakes. I am now going to talk to you about the course, kind of give you a little introduction and an overview so that you will know what to expect as you journey through this next 7 weeks with me. This is the textbook that you will need. It's called Developing the Curriculum. We will use it reading about 2 chapters each week. The last week has 1 chapter. You will also be using the reference section of each chapter to help develop your knowledge in the area of curriculum. You have some assignments, of course, for the next 7 weeks that include discussion forums, a literature research paper, a final project paper, a final project presentation, and a couple of synchronous sessions that we are going to do. I'm going to explain each one of these in detail to you. You have a total of 8 discussion forums to do for the course. 7 of them correspond to your weekly readings, and the first one is an introduction post. First of all, please post a picture because we want to see what you look like. It's always nice and adds a little bit of a personal touch. Next, follow the instructions in the syllabus for doing this introduction post. The introduction post must be made by 8 o'clock on the first Thursday of the course. If it's not made by then, you will be dropped from the course. This helps us comply with state regulations in online courses. The rest of the discussion forums have to do with the weekly readings. It's a pretty open prompt so that you are free to apply what you have read to your own context and your own learning, but your initial post needs to have 250 words, and you are going to need to support your thoughts and statements through citations. You may use the textbook as a citation, and I would encourage you to use other readings as citations, and you can get those other readings from the reference pages located in the back of each of your textbooks. This will also help prepare you for your literature research paper, so become very familiar with some of those journal articles that are listed in the back of each chapter on the reference pages. Your initial post needs to be 250 words, and then the replies about 100 words. The portal is set up. It'll let you know if it's too short so that you can add to that. I would suggest you go ahead and write these in a Word document and then maybe copy and paste. Do not use attachments, but instead copy and paste. Word will count your words for you, and then by chance, if it doesn't post correctly or you lose internet or something, you haven't lost your post. You have it still on a Word document. For the replies, I want them to be conversational. I have not listed how many replies that I want you to do because what I have found is that students tend to reply to others and then just stopped. There's no conversation going on. The replies need to be given to 1 or 2 or maybe 3 people. You read their initial post and you reply back to them. And someone's going to do that to you. Then your additional replies need to be to those people that replied to you so that you get kind of a conversation going on. That's what I want to see happen. Not that you reply to 6 or 7 different people only one time, but instead that you reply to just a few and then create a conversation through those replies. Please use the rubric that is in the syllabus to help you in writing your discussion forum, both the posts and the replies. The literature research paper is due in week 3, so you're going to want to get started on this kind of early on. Again, Please use your textbook as kind of a launching pad to what you want to research. You are going to choose a topic of curriculum that interests you. It may be in the first couple of chapters, or it may be on in the book. So browse through the textbook and it will give you some ideas for what your interest may be. At the back of each chapter, there is a reference section, and the reference section lists where the authors received their information from. Use those also as a starting point. You'll find the journals that the articles are in, or additional books, or whatever you're looking for. Use the RU Library database to search for those journal articles pertaining to your topic. Then you'll be able to pull them right up and be able to read them. You are going to select 5 to 7 articles that meet the criteria for your interest in curriculum. Now, they don't need to be included on the reference page. You may find 1 or 2 in those reference pages, and then as you read those articles, you find some more from those articles that you are interested in. But select 5 to 7 articles, and then you are going to write a paper based on what you have learned about those 5 to 7 articles. I want you to use APA format, including headings and subheadings. You will begin the paper with an introduction, and then you're going to discuss each article and the key points of learning for you. So summarize the general article, and then what are your key points of learning. Following those article discussions, you're going to synthesize those articles through a section basically of how they're similar and how they are different. So what do the authors agree on? What do they disagree on? And then end the paper with a conclusion. This is where you're going to add your thoughts by applying the articles maybe to your situation or your context in education. There is a rubric in the syllabus, so make sure you read that through so that you can see what is expected. One of the things that I really want you to concentrate on is academic writing. Being at the graduate level is a whole different ballgame when it comes to writing. You are expected to write as the papers that you read. So as you are reading the journal articles, notice how they're written. Notice the type of language that is used. Notice the complex sentence structures, the lack of jargon, but more precise language. Notice how they support all of their thoughts with citations and ideas from other authors. This is the type of academic writing that I want you to participate in. So as you're reading, think of yourself as a writer. How can I write like this? Be sure to follow the rubric. The next assignment you have is the final paper project, and it's due in week 7. So there are project guidelines in the syllabus, but here's basically what it is. In the syllabus, there is a list of a lot of topics for you to choose from. You are going to choose 1 or 2 of those topics. If you think one of those topics is going to provide you with enough information for the total length, then you can choose 1. But some of you may want to choose 2 topics to show similarities and differences and compare ideas within those different topics. Or you may want 2 topics to increase the length of your paper and make connections between those 2 ideas. However you choose, there is a list of topics in the syllabus, and you are going to choose 1 or 2 of those. Again, APA format must be followed. Please, please look up APA format. You can go to Purdue OWL. That will give you some ideas. Look at the example paper that they have and the APA documents that I have in this course. Again, the topics are in the syllabus, and I want you to follow the rubric in the syllabus for this final paper. It will be uploaded in coursework in the portal. In addition to the final paper, there is a final presentation project. Now the two are directly related because this is like the mini version of your paper. You are going to do a little presentation, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes in length, for others to see your particular project that you worked on, your paper. I don't want everyone to have to read 3 or 4 papers, but instead I want you to do presentations. So you're going to do a presentation that introduces yourself and gives the important points that you want your viewer to know in your project. So you're going to begin with a question, basically why you chose the topic. Then you're going to give your pertinent information, kind of a Reader's Digest version of your paper. Include some visuals, pictures, graphs, diagrams to enhance learning. And then once you get your slides all set, you are going to use some voiceovers. Be careful not to read from the slides, but just elaborate what is there. Kind of what I'm doing here, but I am reading these points to you specifically so that we can go over the directions. Don't put too much print on one slide because I consider that death by PowerPoint. Nobody wants to follow that much print. You are then going to upload your voiced over PowerPoint, or you can save the PowerPoint in an MP4 format, upload to YouTube, and then just put a link. You'll find that I do that for these particular instructional videos because it makes it really easy to open. And then you don't have to post anything else, just the link to your presentation. Once that is up there and everyone is uploaded, which this is due early week 7, so really you need to be finished with it by the end of week 6. You are going to choose 3 other presentations to watch and comment on. So I want your comments to be very specific. Remember, you are in graduate school and this is about academic writing and about academic discussion. So nothing like I really like your presentation, but talk about the content. Give new viewpoints and ideas within your replies. Replies need to be about 100 words in length. They don't have to be too lengthy. But I do want you to use citations to back up your statements in the replies. Again, there is a rubric in the syllabus to help guide you in this. Finally, we are going to have 3 synchronous sessions. I'm going to use a Zoom link. They'll probably be about 40 minutes total, so it's not going to take a long time. I would suggest that you join through video because that's much easier. You can join through your phone though, so if you're on vacation and you're traveling, you can do that as well. I do want you to attend at least 2 of the 3 synchronous sessions for full credit. However, you may attend all 3 sessions and I'll give you a few extra credit points. We're going to set the dates and the times during the first week of class. Once I get some feel for what schedule will work best for people, I don't know how many of you are teaching summer school or what may be going on, so I want to get a feel for what works. We can do them on different days of the week and different times of the day to help kind of hit different people's schedules. So we'll get this nailed down during the first week of class. I know this is really tiny, but I wanted to lay out your course schedule. I copied this from the syllabus, so it's right there, but you can see how we're covering approximately 2 chapters each week. You will need to read those in your book in order to participate in the weekly discussions and generate your papers and your presentation. Here's how you're going to be evaluated in the course. You can see that I use a 10-point scale. So I know none of you are going to be below that 80%. We need to really stay above 80% in graduate school. So here's how you will be evaluated on the point scale. So you'll have 8 online discussions. That includes the 7 weekly and then the 1 introduction. Your literature research paper, your final project paper, the final project presentation, and then your 2 synchronous sessions with 10 points each. But of course, if you attend all 3, I'll give you some bonus points for that. That's a total of 370 points. So then you'll be taking that 90% or 95% out of that, whatever you score. Finally, on each page, on each weekly page, you will see a section just titled Blog. We're going to use that for general questions for the week or comments. You found a great article and you want to share that with others. I really want to make this online course kind of like we are meeting together in a strange sort of way. But I want us to use the blog for questions, comments, whatever you have. So go ahead and start that. Somebody can start that each week. I'll be on the blog as well, but if someone has a question or a comment, they can just post there, and then other people can answer that question or add to the comment, whatever it is. If you have a question that does not get answered on the blog, of course you can email your instructor, which is me, and I will be glad to answer that for you. Please give me like 24 hours to answer that question. I'll try to get on it as soon as I can. Above all, learn a lot in these next 7 weeks. Curriculum and instruction are great things. As teachers, we use them all the time. As district personnel, we are also involved in sometimes creating those decisions. So I encourage you to apply yourself in the next 7 weeks, and I will be in touch, and we're going to have a great learning time together.